If you're a politically conservative woman, here's the brutal truth. Obsessing over a man's political views could cost you your future husband. Even if he loves Trump, there's one thing that matters way more when it comes to finding a good man who will cherish you forever. Let's get into it. Welcome back. I'm Esther, and this is the Art of Wifery. We help women transition out of sugar dating, situationships, and toxic dating patterns into real marriages with provider husbands who will cherish and protect their wives. So, conservative ladies. Okay, we're seeing so many conservative women in our DMs right now, excited about the political climate, thinking it's finally their time to find a husband who'll share their values. And that is exciting because finding a man who shares your values can seem easier right now. Okay, so let me break this down for you for a second. So for the past few years, conservative men, if you haven't noticed, especially Trump supporters, have been keeping their views pretty quiet. In fact, studies show that about 45% of Trump supporters felt they couldn't openly discuss their political views at work or even on social media. And this has made dating really hard for you conservative ladies. You've been out there trying to find these men who align with your values, but they've been harder to spot because they weren't exactly, wearing their beliefs on their sleeves, right? So now with this shift in the political climate, these men are starting to feel more comfortable expressing their views again. They're coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, and I get why you're excited. Finally, you can more easily identify men who share your values. Finally, these conversations feel safer to have. But here's where I need you to really pay attention. Smart, beautiful, conservative women make the exact same mistake over and over again, and it's breaking our heart, to be honest. They're so focused on finding a man who shares those political views that they're missing the one thing that actually predicts whether he'll be a good husband to you. I'm not gonna lie, what I'm about to share might challenge everything you think about dating conservative men. But if you want a man who truly treasures you, provides for you, and makes you feel emotionally safe, you need to hear this. Let me paint a picture for you. You match with this guy online, all right? He's got all the right stuff in his profile. Conservative values, wants marriage and family, loves Trump. Your heart skips a beat thinking you found the one. But ladies, I want you to really hear me on this. Okay, just because a man voted for Trump and says he's looking for marriage does not automatically mean he's going to be the husband you deserve. Stay with me here. We're seeing this play out right now. There's going to be a lot of men feeling really empowered to speak their views. And yes, that might feel exciting, but here's what I'm actually worried about. You're going to see a completely different side to some of these men than you saw even just 6 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even last month, okay? And I need you to be paying attention to this because think about it, okay? Marriage is a long time, okay? Trump won't be president forever. World events will keep happening and you'll still be married to this man through all of it. So here's the truth that nobody's talking about. A man can agree with every single one of your political views and still be a terrible husband. He can share all your Facebook posts about conservative values and still make you feel unseen, unheard, and emotionally unsafe in your own home. We've seen it time and time again. A woman gets caught up in this excitement of finding a politically aligned man that they end up completely missing the red flags about how he'll actually treat them. And here's what's really keeping me up at night, okay? Some of you are so focused on having political discussions with these men that you're not noticing how they handle stress, how they respect your boundaries, or how they make you feel when you disagree about something small. That, ladies, that's the real conversation we need to be having, because while you're bonding over shared political stuff, you might be missing the exact thing that will determine whether this man will cherish you for a lifetime, okay? So what should you be looking for instead? Let me tell you something that might surprise you, okay? I'm gonna be really honest with you, and it might not be what you're expecting to hear, but I honestly think that your best match is a man who's not super politically charged at all. Stay with me because this is important. I want you to know what really predicts an amazing marriage, okay? It's not how passionate he is about politics. It's how he treats you when you're having a bad day. It's whether he makes you feel emotionally safe to bring up uncomfortable topics. It's how he responds when you say no to something, actually, okay? Let me give you a real life example, okay? So think about two different men. Guy one is always online, checking Twitter first thing in the morning. Mood is instantly affected by whatever headline he sees. He's sharing every political development with you, knowing every fact about what's happening in DC. His energy is constantly up and down based on the news cycle. When you're having dinner together, he's checking his phone, needing to respond to political arguments in the comments. When you try to talk about your day, he somehow steers the conversation back to the latest political drama. His blood pressure rises. Every time he watches the news, he's always in reaction mode to the latest controversy. Stay with me here because this contrast is important. So then there's guy number two, okay? He starts his morning by checking in on how you've slept. He's quietly helping his elderly neighbor with her groceries, not posting about it, just doing it. He's focusing on building his career to provide for his future family. And instead of ranting about the economy online, he's actually learning about investing and saving for your future home. When he gets angry about what's happening in the world, he channels that energy into making his corner of it better. Here's the really beautiful part. When you're with him, you have his full attention. His phone is away during dinner. When you're upset about something at work, he's not trying to one-up your stress with a political rant. He's actually listening, actually holding space for your feelings. And let me tell you something nobody is talking about. While guy number 1 is getting into Twitter arguments about supporting traditional families, guy number 2 is actually building the foundation to have one. While guy number 1 is posting about the decline of traditional values, guy number 2 is quietly living them. Think about which man is actually preparing himself to be a husband who can weather the storms of life with you. Which one do you think is actually going to build a beautiful life? So here's what I want you to be looking out for, and really pay attention, because this is the good stuff. Does he respect you when you don't want to talk about something? When you bring up something that makes you uncomfortable, does he listen? Does he make you feel safe to be vulnerable? So ladies, sometimes the quieter, less politically vocal men are the ones building real foundations for marriage, while the loud ones are just, well, being loud. You see, something that keeps showing up in our coaching sessions, these very vocal, politically charged men often have a concerning pattern, okay? They tend to think their feelings, their opinions, and their reactions to everything happening in the world are the most important thing in the room. Stay with me here, because this is crucial. When a man is constantly focused on expressing his political opinions, on being heard, on being right, that same energy often shows up in how he handles your feelings in the relationship. So let me paint another picture for you. If he can't put aside his need to rant about politics when you're having a bad day and just need him to listen, if he can't step away from his phone when you're trying to share something important, if he always steers the conversation back to his views about what's happening in the world, ladies, that's not just about politics anymore. That's about emotional capacity. That's about his ability to hold space for you. And marriage, real lasting marriage, it requires a man who can put down his own feelings aside sometimes and truly see and honor yours. You see, the day-to-day reality of marriage isn't about political debates. It's about whether he can comfort you when you've had a miscarriage, for example. It's about whether he can put aside his own stress when your mom is sick and you need support. It's about whether he can hear your fears and insecurities without making them about him. A man who always needs to be the loudest voice in the room often struggles to be the quiet strength you'll need in your hardest moments. And here's the thing that is really going to blow your mind, okay? A man who truly loves a woman shows it by cherishing her feelings, not by arguing about politics online. I want you to imagine your future home right now, okay? Close your eyes and think about what that looks like. This is your own little kingdom that you two will build together. What's going to matter more? His Twitter feed or how he treats you when you're struggling, when you're sick, when you disagree about something? Because at the end of the day, politics happen out there, all the way out there. But marriage happens right here. It's in the daily moments between two people, all right? I know what you're thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I actually find these men? Okay, so I'm about to share something that might also surprise you. First up, and you might not expect this from a dating coach, but the gym is absolutely having a moment right now, okay? We're seeing something really, really interesting happening. Conservative men are feeling energized. They're full of testosterone. They're feeling hopeful about the future. And guess where they're channeling all of that energy? They're showing up at the gym like never before. And ladies, these aren't just typical guys. These are men who are disciplined, who care about self-improvement, who are investing in themselves, okay? Now, at some point, we will have an affiliate with a great gym, a reputable great gym that we love, and that link will be here to sign up and also in the description. So keep an eye out for that if you are ready to get yourself back in the gym in 2025. Now, for our Christian ladies, and if this isn't you, just hold on to this for a friend, okay? We're predicting something huge. Church attendance for men is about to see an uptick. So for years, we've actually been telling women that church wasn't the best place to meet men because, let's be honest, men weren't showing up. But something is shifting, okay? I'm not going to get into it all now, but if you want to watch the video about men's return to church and why they stopped going to the church in the first place, just cue this up for yourself in a new tab and watch when you're done here. But here's why this matters so much. When you meet a man at church, you get something precious that you don't get from the dating apps, okay? You get to observe him in real life. You get to see how he treats other people, and you get to watch how he handles responsibility. And bonus, you often get wise women in the community who can help you vet him. But this is crucial, okay? No matter where you meet him, whether it's at the gym, at church, or anywhere else, I need you to remember what we talked about before. Never, and I mean never, let anyone else's opinion override your own feelings about a man. Even if your pastor loves him, even if your mom thinks he's perfect, you need to trust your gut about how he makes you feel. Because here's what nobody's talking about. The location where you meet him isn't nearly as important as your ability to observe and trust your feelings when you do. Let me give you an example. You could meet the perfect on paper conservative man at church, But if he makes you feel anxious every time you're about to see him, that's your intuition trying to tell you something important. So I need you to listen to it, okay? This is where everything comes together. When you're vetting a man for marriage, I want you thinking way beyond your shared values checklist, okay? Because here's what we're seeing happen over and over again. Women are getting so excited about finding a man who checks all of their political boxes that they completely miss checking their own emotional compass. I want you watching how he handles 3 specific situations. First, and this is huge, how does he handle stress? Because let's be real, these are intense times we're living in. When the headlines are crazy and everyone's worked up, is he the kind of man who can stay grounded? Or does he get swept up in the chaos? Second, how does he respond when you set a boundary? This is where you learn everything you need to know about a man. When you say you're not comfortable discussing something, does he respect that? Or does he push? Does he try to debate you out of your boundary? Does he act hurt and make you feel guilty? Does he keep bringing it up, trying to wear you down? Or, and this is what we are looking for, does he say, I completely understand, and then actually follow through? Does he check in with you about your comfort level before pushing forward? Does he remember your boundaries without you having to repeat them? Here's what's most important. A man's reaction to your small boundaries early in dating predicts how he'll handle your big boundaries in marriage. If he can't respect your no about coming over late at night, he will not respect your no when you're exhausted with a newborn. We've seen women ignore these early warning signs because, oh, he's such a good Christian, or he's so traditional in his values. But ladies, a man who shares your values but pushes your boundaries is still showing you who he is. So think about your recent interactions. When you needed space, did he give you it gracefully, or did he make you feel bad about it? When you said you weren't comfortable with something physical, did he immediately back off, or did he try to negotiate? When you didn't want to attend a political event, did he respect that or pressure you? A man who will cherish you for life isn't just someone who agrees with your politics. He's someone who treats your boundaries as sacred as his own. Okay, so let's get to number 3, and this might surprise you, but watch how he treats people he disagrees with. Because here's the truth and nobody's talking about. How he treats people he disagrees with politically is exactly how he'll treat you when you disagree about something in your marriage. Let me be really clear about something. You're not just looking for red flags here. You're looking for green flags too, okay? Does he make you feel emotionally safe? When you're together, do you feel like you can breathe? Can you be yourself? Listen, your feelings are not just valid, they are your most powerful vetting tool. If something feels off, even if you can't explain why, even if everything else feels and looks right, that's your intuition, trying to protect you. And here's the really beautiful thing. When you're with the right man, you'll feel it. Not just because he shares your values, but because he makes you feel treasured, respected, and emotionally safe. That's what we're really looking for here, okay? So what do you actually do with all this? Let me give you some real practical steps you can take starting this week. So first thing, if you are currently talking to a man, take a complete pause from political discussions, okay? Just for 1 week. Instead, I want you paying attention to 3 things. How does he make you feel when you're just doing normal everyday things, not debating politics, not discussing current events, just being together? Oh, I don't know why that just happened. Sorry. Second, start setting small boundaries. Maybe you say, oh my God. Okay. I just can't hold my finger up, I guess. Okay. Start setting small boundaries. Maybe you say you don't want to discuss a certain topic or you're not ready to meet his friends yet. Watch carefully how he responds. And third, start sharing some of your genuine feelings about non-political things. Watch if he creates a space for your emotions or if he shuts them down. Now, for single ladies who aren't talking to anyone yet, I want you reimagining your must-have list, okay? Instead of focusing on his political views, write down how you want to feel in your future marriage. Safe, cherished, respected. Those feelings become your new non-negotiables. And here's your homework. Yes, we're going to give you homework. Next time you're in a public place with a man of interest, whether it's the gym, church, or just getting coffee, I want you to practice observing how they treat people around them. Because here's the truth. The right man isn't going to be the one who talks the loudest about his values. He's going to be the one who lives them quietly, consistently, and most importantly, in how he treats you. We're living in a time where it's so easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, the politics, the drama, the constant chaos, and I get it, I really do. But marriage, real, lasting, beautiful marriage, that happens in the quiet moments. It happens in how he holds your hand when you're anxious. It happens in how he listens when you're hurt. It happens in how he shows up for you every single day, whether the world outside is in peace or in chaos. And I know some of you needed to hear this today because you're about to settle for a man because he checks all your political boxes, and you have to know, my sweet dear baby princess, that you deserve so much more. Your future husband, he's not just going to align with your politics, he's going to treasure your heart. He's not just going to share your beliefs, he's going to protect your peace. He's not just going to agree with you, he's going to cherish you. That's what I want for you. That's what's possible for you. And that's what you deserve, so hold out for it. Don't let the chaos of the times make you forget that. And remember, your feminine essence is sacred. Guard it, honor it, and watch how the right kind of masculine rises to meet it. See you next time.